my friends stand by me only if I'm right. I come out of triple darkness just to see the light. If I say it once, I guarantee I say it twice. If they want me, I ain't going out without a fight. In my dreams, I'm a killer, but for God, man. Try to play it cool, but it's getting hard, man. Rolling with the real and deaf to all the frauds, man. Not too many of me, yeah, it's kinda hard, man. In my room, sitting in my room. Know they waiting on me and I'm coming soon. Never been a sellout, never been a coon. Y'all be on the camera acting like I'ma show them how I true it.
If you equate your confidence and success to money, when your pockets is hurting, you might not be as confident. But when you confident within, it don't really matter what you going through because you know who you are and what you gonna do and what path you on.
Welcome to the B2M Crew Podcast. We are here live at the Cole Building in Charlottesville, Virginia.
Not live, but yeah, we're here.
Well, we live because we live on IG.
Oh, we're doing the.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes,
so you
wow.
see there,
You better tighten up.
Yeah.
You better tighten up.
Everybody has. We've been trying to do this for a couple of years now, and as you can see, the normal 5, we're missing a couple, and we got some new seats, and so we wanted to finally be able to get our sons on this particular episode, and we're gonna be working in sons throughout. Throughout our process. So as you can see here on my left is my nephew, Tyreek.
What it do?
Talik's son. He dressed like his Paul.
He dressed like Paul.
Oh, Paul dressed like you?
Paul dressed like
Okay. And of course, my son, Darius, is here to represent Darius.
Representing Darius.
And
That's
so
funny.
today we're...
Oh, no,
J-Moo don't
they
need
know
no
me, bro.
introduction.
Oh, okay.
He
I'm a
here every
regular.
week. He here every week. Today we're going to be talking about the subject at hand today is humility. You know, when to be humble and when to turn up. You know, it's a time and place for everything. So sometimes, it's very important to be humble. And then there's other times to demonstrate your confidence. And it's okay to get turned if you want to under the right set of circumstances. So I'm going to throw it to Tyreek and ask him to start off. Tyreek, when is it appropriate to be humble and when is it appropriate to be turned? Now, let me say this. You've been listening to your dad, your Paul, talk about you for about 70 episodes now. It's your turn.
I know. About time. My time to shine. Yeah, man.
Humility, man.
Man, I thought we was doing both. So right now, this the time where I'm turning up. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
The beef has started early.
Nah, man. I would say being humble, man. I think it's very important. And I know a couple episodes you mentioned you was talking about, being humble is thinking of others, but not thinking of yourself less. Right? Isn't that what
Correct.
Yeah. And I think a lot of times some people think that we have to think of ourselves less to be humble, but that's not the case. And so I would say for me, when I think times to be humble is in times where you may be in a certain room or you may be in a certain situation and all eyes may be on you. Or something like that for something, just whatever the case may be. But then at the same time, a lot of people are kind of walking in that room thinking they all that with their chest popped and all that stuff. But at the same time, it's like, hey, other people in this room done things and stuff. So you need to take time out. Oh, hey, such and such has done this accomplishment, so on and so forth. When it's time to like flex your stuff, maybe you done won an award or, you done got that new promotion, you done made that $1 million. I say that's times where, that's time to flex.
So are you thinking about how much do you think about what others think as opposed to what you think? And how in tune and how self-aware are you in moments like that?
You talking about me thinking about what other people think about me?
You specifically, you thinking about what other people think about you, and how self-aware are you when it comes to that?
Oh, I don't really care what people think like that. I just, I'm not a people pleaser, so I just,
You're a you pleaser. You're a Reek pleaser, huh?
What
Yeah,
about what
I mean,
about your
do you.
self-awareness?
What do you mean?
Self-awareness. You know, are you the person that soaks up all the air in the room when it may be other people's time to shine, or you just so consumed with yourself you ain't thinking about uh giving somebody else their space to shine?
No, I give people their props.
Okay.
You know when it's time, and then when it's my time, I take my props.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah, I think it's about being both. I think you always want to be confident in what you do and don't let people project you being humble. You will hear people say all the time, be humble, be humble, be humble. But like, why are they saying that? To diminish what you're doing? So I think you always want to be confident because the world gonna humble you. If you out here arrogant, I promise you the world gonna humble you.
Uh-oh.
You're not gonna be able to go about life and do things and have success and not be humble because you gonna face setbacks, failures. Like you always gonna come across stuff that's gonna humble you, regardless of how you carrying yourself.
What about when it's time to be turned?
I mean, it's always time to be turned and flex what you do, but you can do it by being humble as well. So like, you know, if you're on a basketball court, I always compare it to sports. If you're on a basketball court, you might see somebody like Anthony Edwards. He out there killing. He talking to everybody. Is he more confident than Steph Curry, who's subtle with it? Because he trying to cut your head off too. And he going to cut your head off and smirk at you. But just because you being loud don't make you more confident, or just because you being quiet, that don't make you humble.
Uh-oh.
I got you. Chill. What's your take on that?
Man, I'm listening to these young cats go at it, man. But you know, my thing is, you know, from a father's standpoint, and I'm sitting here and I'm teaching my son various things, and we always trying to protect our heart at times. And so, my standpoint as a father, and I like what nephew said over here, but my standpoint as a father, I'm telling my son, hey, don't be cocky, don't be arrogant, be humble, you know, because sometimes your height could be short lived, and you dropping down them levels could be devastating, and might paralyze you to not physically paralyze you, but paralyze you into the effect of not being able to move forward.
Yeah, bounce back.
And you stuck in this in this pivotal moment where this is really gonna show what you made out of. It's how you bounce back, you know. And my son recently had the best of both worlds in within a couple days of one another, and
The same day.
yeah.
Mhm,
So
same day. Oh,
so
wow.
so I'll let him share, but I'm gonna share my perspective. Like, so we got a studio. We had a studio in Atlanta, production studio, and we ended up, you know, shutting the doors down. And so I was teaching him and sharing with him, it's gonna be okay. And he just couldn't lay his eyes on that for so many reasons. And I told him I've been an entrepreneur for over 20 some years, and you know, it's so many entrepreneurs, they understand it. Real entrepreneurs understand you're gonna have some wins and losses.
For sure.
And in life is about that journey, wins and losses. And it's how you bounce back that's gonna make you resilient, stronger, and it's really gonna help you go through those times again, and it's not even gonna phase you next time because you done went through the storm, so to speak. And the next thing, you know, a couple days before, he won, you know, to me, a prestigious award. You know, being the the podcast man, and just blew me away, man. I was so excited, but you know, you was up here, and then you had your low, and so I'll let him, you know, kind of reflect on that moment,
Yeah.
if you want to share.
Yeah, I was gonna come to you, J Moo, but let's go back
Oh,
to
no, that's
Tyreek
cool. It's
real
all
quick.
good.
Yeah. give us your perspective on the high and the low of
That's
of that journey and what you just most recently went through.
Yeah, so, well, those of y'all who follow me on social media, y'all seen I shared the video and stuff. But I was in the midst of what I would say a dark time. I ain't never been through nothing like that. And no, it was
Keep living. That's what old people always say. That's what old people always say. Just keep living.
It was
All right, go ahead.
yeah, no, it was a real emotional time for me because I had dreamed of this. I had been dreaming of this for like 5 years. And you know, it had finally happened last year. And so we had the grand opening in June and everybody came out. And matter of fact, I lied earlier about thinking about what other people think about me. This was one of those times where I actually did think about that. And I thought, you know, if I do this and I, you know, put this post out and let people know it didn't work, are they gonna think I'm a failure? You know, stuff like that. So I was thinking about that, or, you know, because there had been a lot of people telling me that this was so inspiring to them to see me being so young to open this up and stuff. And then when I shut it down, are they gonna think like, am I still gonna be an inspiration? You know, and stuff like that. So I was so that was a time where I was thinking about what other people would think about it. But it was it was real hard. It was emotional, and I know I couldn't. They had, like my parents, mom and dad, they was telling me like they had been through stuff like that. So this is my first rodeo, right? And I was trying to figure, I'm like, why are they not as emotional about it as I am? I'm serious. Like it was days, you know, I was sitting there crying and weeping because I didn't have it no more and stuff like that, you know. And
That's funny.
and I didn't know why they wasn't taking it as hard as I was. It honestly felt like a death. You know, a death in the family. I was losing a loved one because I was so attached to it and I was there all the time. And now it's like no longer in my life no more. And
But we still got the business
we still
side of it, but not the actual
The
studio.
physical space.
Yeah.
The physical space.
Yeah. And so that was real difficult. But I posted it and I got a lot of positive feedback. You know, people telling me to keep going, keep my head up, and people just proud of me for that I actually even took a risk and actually did it, you know. So that made me feel real good. And then so, you know, in the midst of that, with the award that I recently won an award for podcasting, you know, in Atlanta and stuff like that. And so I was excited about it, but I felt like I really couldn't dwell and be as excited as I wanted to be because I was in the midst of the storm. But I was still excited. I was happy. You know, we celebrated and stuff like that. But I felt like if I wasn't going through that at the same time, I'd have been a lot more excited.
And what kind of award was it? Podcast, but what was it for?
Yeah, Atlanta Press Club. So Atlanta Press Club, all the journalists in Atlanta part of this one club. And so we had to submit for the Awards of Excellence for the last calendar year. And so I submitted for podcasting for my Navigating Journalism podcast where I interview journalists and stuff on the show. And I got nominated in 2 categories. I won in that category, and that was great. Everybody was in the room cheering, screaming my name and stuff. Because a lot of people in that room had knew what I was going through because I had posted it. A lot of them followed me.
Yeah.
And so just to hear them, you know, scream my name and all that was a good feeling.
But the other side, the flip side of what he's saying, also, people from California was actually the ones who actually was judging.
Okay.
People in Atlanta ain't had really nothing to really do with it.
I got you. So
but,
it's outside.
Yeah, but go ahead.
No. So J-Mo, to bring you in, my friend. You know, for years we've been friends a long time, man. So, you know, I always tell you, you know, you just super talented. You know, one of the most talented dudes I've ever known. Sing, dance, comedy, joke, whatever, act. You can do it all. You know, I done told you many times, Jamie Foxx got all Jamie Yates money. You know?
Yes, sir. I do recall
so,
you saying
know,
that.
Jamie Foxx got all Jamie Yates money. So, talk about a time when, you know, you're humble and a time when you felt like it was cool to turn up.
Now, by turn up, what do you mean exactly? like as far as turning up with
Okay,
what you
so you
with the
so
com-
you so
No,
you don't know 20-year-old lingo now.
no. Because when I was listening to what Reek was talking about, what he was going through,
Uh-huh.
and but I think I get the gist of what we're talking about. But there's also the time to turn up for him to regroup from the challenge that he just faced. You know what I'm saying? So turning up in the sense of having the confidence to go ahead and regroup.
Yeah.
In that sense, you know what I mean? Not so much so whereas turn up with the confidence of your talent and what you feel confident and knowledgeable about or whatever or versed in. You know what I mean? So that's what I meant with regards to what if he considered that.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? Reek, it's time to, hey, turn up. This is a perfect opportunity for you to turn up or return up,
That bounce back.
if you will. Yeah. So don't, try not to, dwell in the pain of that disappointment and challenge and trial. Just, hey, turn up to regroup and show and bring it back at a different, at a different level that you probably expected in the first go around, as you said, the first rodeo. And that's probably why, mom and dad wasn't too pressed because they know, he can bounce back from this.
Yeah,
And he
exactly.
This is not, it's not the end of it. And when you go try again, it'll be bigger and better and probably more likely to what you had envisioned in the first place. So, but with the experience of I guess to me it was all about timing as far as youthful in my youth and the timing of just kind of being able to see, because I do not like a quiet room, if you will, or you know what I mean. And even when I'm working or by myself, so to speak, there has to be something that's what I'm saying that I hear, whether it's music or something in the background that just kind of. It's hard for me to just in silence unless I'm trying to meditate purposefully or something like that. So I think the opportunity, if it came to where there seemed to be a void of humor or laughter or whatever, you know what I mean, or whatever that may be, if I had the confidence and felt I could fill that void, boom, I'd turn up and do so.
Yeah.
And then what I've learned as in accepting Islam long ago, the humility part is that with Allah or God, that whatever greatness or whatever I achieve or whatever it is that I do, I try not to speak independent of the God. You know what I'm saying? So I don't say, oh yeah, I'm gonna meet you over there. I'll see you next week or whatever, without saying God willing or inshallah.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that or when you get in certain praise and whatnot from people, whether you say it aloud or at least say it to yourself, alhamdulillah, or God, praise be to the God. Thank God. It's really whatever it is that you see of greatness or talent from me is really the God. So and it keeps me humble with regards to saying, hey, praise God, because that's where it comes from. I don't want to get anywhere beside myself to think that I'm independent of His will and being successful. So that's what
good.
Try to help me to stay humble is to say pray, to keep that in mind or at the forefront of it, so I don't lose sight of, hey, this anything you see of good is not, it doesn't originate from me.
Yeah, my man Inky Johnson always say, who's out here promising time? You know what I mean?
Come
when
on
you
now.
say I'll see you next week, who promised you that?
Right.
That's not a promise. So you need to be extremely and keenly aware that there's a Most High that's distributing the time that we get.
Yes, sir.
And we ain't got nothing to do with it.
That's right.
Darius, talk about a time for you where it's been extremely humbling and a time when you got lit. I'm sure you got many examples.
Right now, it's humbling for me, if I'm being completely honest.
Why?
Just because I'm going through a lot of stuff with my business.
Uh-huh.
And I wouldn't even necessarily say humbling. It's just like sometimes you take a L, but that's why I think it's important to be confident within and not attach your confidence to something. If you attach your confidence to I don't want to go off topic or nothing, but like the way you look, then if you having a bad hair day as a woman, or if something you got a big pimple, you might not be as confident that day. Or if you equate your your confidence and success to money, when your pockets is hurting,
Come
you
on
might
now.
not be as confident. But when you confident within, it don't really matter what you going through because you know who you are and what you gonna do and what path you on. So right now, if I'm being honest, business isn't going great. But I'm not walking around here with my head down because I know the path I'm on. So even when I'm taking an L, it don't really affect me the way it used to, just because I know who I am and where I'm going. So it's hard for me to say, like, be humble or be confident, because like I said, it's always both. I feel like I'm always humble. Even when I'm talking my shit, I feel like I'm humble. Like I really do, because anything I'm saying, if I am flexing, it's facts. If you capping, okay, that's one thing. But if what I'm saying is facts, I don't understand how that's being cocky or arrogant. It's just
Right, when it's supported with evidence and everything. Okay,
yeah.
I feel you. I
It's
feel
the
you,
real
nephew.
social proof.
I feel you, nephew. Yes, sir.
You know what I think ultimately happens, whether it's considered cocky, arrogance, humble, or whatever, it all is the individual and how they perceive it. Perception.
Okay.
It ain't got nothing to do with you. I remember watching you play basketball games and watching you talk a lot of trash playing basketball. A lot of trash.
nephew.
Oh, I talk crazy.
Yeah.
I talk crazy on the court.
Right. But that talking crazy was out of humility, because you felt like, in order for me to play at a high level, I gotta go there mentally because I'm not uber talented.
It get me going. I remember one time in college, we had a game and we was playing one of our rivals, and I had a good game and I was talking, and like, if you talking like that, the fans gonna be kind of mad. So after the game, we had a party and some girls from the other school came. And before I got there, my dudes on the team was telling me, they was like talking crazy about me. They was like, number 4 asshole, he an asshole. Like, he think he all that. And then I got to the party and I was just chilling. And then they was like, that's number 4? Like,
Right. The dude with all that mouth on the court.
like, he just chilling. Like, he not even the same person. You know what I mean? So it's just like, depending on what environment you in, kind of depend on what person you're gonna be and what zone you go to. So
That's almost like MJ, how he was, Michael Jackson. You know what I mean? On the stage and performing. You all, you know what I'm saying? All confidence, but then interviews, it's kind of weird. Like,
Yeah, you hear a lot of people talk about that. Like somebody like Beyonce, what she call her alter ego is Sasha Fierce.
Right.
Or I've heard Deion Sanders talk about losing who Deion was and trying to be prime time. Like all of a sudden his alter ego was prime time, and next thing you know, he's driving his car ready to commit suicide because he's trying to be prime time instead of being Deion. He done lost Deion. And so, that kind of stuff can happen.
I think about Mike Tyson when I think about that, because, he was such a beast in the ring, and then being humble and stepping back and it seems to be, even though everybody enjoying him now, but both worlds they're enjoying him.
Yeah, that's true.
Both worlds they're enjoying him, but he feel almost less than, super fan of him.
Yeah, I heard Mike Tyson say one time, God punishes us by giving us everything we ask for.
Yep.
Yes, I remember hearing him say that.
Yeah, and
Ferocious
so and so what that's speaking to is the level of humility that you must always bring in an environment. You're gonna, when you have success, your biggest challenge will be
how you handle it.
Yeah.
What kind of character? So what's more important is that the kind of character you develop going into that success.
Right.
See, because that's that foundation, that character, that's got to already be in place, because if it's not, then all of a sudden you can become something that you had no idea, or success will reveal an aspect of you that you either been able to hide or you did not know existed before?
Well, I think that's why you see a lot of people that make quick money be the most arrogant because they haven't experienced
Losing the studio,
yeah,
struggling in business.
exactly. You
But I
don't
feel
really
like
see
now-
somebody
oh, go ahead.
who cooked a long meal and who really went through it to be successful. You hardly ever see like those people be super arrogant. Most of the time, those are the humble, laid back people.
So
Yeah.
real quick, for you guys, the sons.
Mm-hmm.
So can you all attribute your fathers to, of course, to some extent, of course, but can you look back and see where it is they equipped you with that type of character for you all to be, as you are and successful and with the kind of level head and, and balance that y'all seem to have?
Me and him argue about it a lot. He be like, be humble, be humble, be humble. And I'm not gonna say I don't believe in being humble, but I feel like a lot of times people tell you to be humble, if I'm being completely honest, because they're trying to protect you from failure. And a lot of times people are humble because they feel like deep down they're gonna fail. Don't nobody wanna say, I'm gonna be president of the United States in 5th grade, and then 40 years later, you're not president, and everybody like, he said he was gonna do this, he said he was gonna do that, and he didn't. People don't want that to come back on them.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I wanna put pressure on myself. So a lot of times I say I'm gonna do something to create pressure for myself because I do wanna prove those people wrong. I do want people looking at me saying, I hope he fails. I wanna put that pressure on myself. So I mean, I think obviously, he did give me traits to be humble and also be confident. But that's how I feel about it. We not necessarily on the same page.
But the
on this
confidence,
topic.
the confidence like that coffee, man. The cream goes to the top.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Now, I was gonna say to your point earlier when you was talking about people who make the quick money and stuff.
Mhm.
I think that I feel like that with the studio and stuff not working out, I feel like when I actually do get to a certain point, I'm gonna appreciate it a whole lot more
Yes, sir.
than this just taking off immediately and stuff. So when that time do come, I feel like I'm gonna be a lot more grateful and a lot more humble when it actually do hit. And so God has a way of showing us stuff, and that could be, and this situation could have been used to minister to some other people who may be going through this, going through the same thing and stuff like that. But as far as
No, it's
What was that,
yeah, but no, back to what y'all was talking about earlier as far as what they taught us and stuff. I mean, same thing over here, always telling me, son, humble, humility. I'm like, all right, whatever. And so but I mean, it's times where I want to be, I want to poke my chest out and stuff like that. And I want
That chest?
Yeah, this chest. And I've
So
been working on this.
chill.
I've been in the gym, man.
Chill, give me an example of when you felt you had to, hey, be humble, son, or whatever. When was the are these private things that we can't see that y'all
man.
posted and
My
everything,
son
or
gave
what?
me permission to free game, right? So, but my thing is, I'm just preparing him these tools to put in his bag. So whenever he out on the journey, he can pull certain tools out his bag.
Okay.
I'm not always, majority of the time, a lot of the time I'm with him, but a lot of times I'm not with him. So he need to be able to learn how to move, walk, navigate when I'm not there. He need to know when to pull this tool out to use it. He need to know when to pull this tool out to use it. And so sometimes I don't want him to be so cocky and arrogant that he's overlooking something that's obvious.
Okay.
And so by me sharing them, like, oh, it's a pitfall right over there. I'm telling you, I'd have seen it 1,000 times. Why can I do that? Man, I done had over.
You've been in the pit.
Yeah, I done had over 20
We
businesses.
can start one with Chill. How long you been in entrepreneurship?
Yeah,
like your
long
brother,
time.
coach, 20 years.
Hey, I'm gonna act like Joaquin, to be really honest with you. It started at 7 years old. You know what I mean?
Yes,
like
sir.
literally. But the thing is, The thing is that I'm telling him these things because this is 30, 40 years of being an entrepreneur and trying different avenues and businesses and finding out where I failed, where I lost, where I stumbled at and to see all this. So I'm trying to equip him with every piece of tool he needs.
Right.
It's up to him to be able to pull it out when he needs it.
Yeah.
And so,
You know, I think the Boys to Men podcast, or B2M podcast, is about 5 guys who've been friends for over 40 years. Between the 5 of us, we've been married for over 100 combined years. Between the 5 of us, we have 13 children, 12 sons. We discuss in our podcast about our journeys into fatherhood and how we raised our sons to be fine young men. From 6-figure earners at LinkedIn to a professional Call of Duty player, college educated entrepreneurs, that's who we are. Our podcast is not a how to do it podcast. It is a podcast about how we did it. Come check us out. I think the conversation we having is exactly what we were going for and exactly what we got. The fact that you say, be humble, be humble, be humble, you don't know when it's going to surface. But the moment you're sitting up here and you can say, you know, I'm struggling with my business, some people done quit and that type of thing and all that stuff, I know you got it. The moment you got to close down the studio and you post it online, I know you got it. You know, that
was difficult.
Yeah,
I ain't want to
exactly.
share that.
Exactly.
and
But
I
it's
didn't
the
pressure him to do it.
Right, but it's the fact that you have absorbed the lesson of humility is why you were able to do it. That's exactly why. You know, I gotta ask both of y'all this question because we do this podcast. We always get a chance to talk about y'all. Talk about
Don't do it, why?
no, talk about your dad being up here and talking about you and what you're thinking sometimes, how you feeling, and about your response to it. And now you got the mic.
I'm still your dad.
Man,
no.
There you go.
I've been waiting on this opportunity. All right, so I'm gonna tell y'all where Dad failed at. So
Well, that way he was good at. You gonna start with the
I'm
failure.
gonna start with the failure.
All right, we listening.
Yeah,
Give
so
it to him.
I
Give it
think-
to him, Tyreek. Give it to him.
So I think Dad failed when it came to sports. This man was not outside playing catch with me. Know what I'm saying? You wasn't giving me my private lessons. You wouldn't.
He was supposed to get private lessons.
Yeah, like you had the money for it. So why would
Being an entrepreneur and everything.
and I just felt like he wasn't invested in my sports career because I probably could have been something serious.
You
know?
could have been Mookie Betts. No.
Yo.
What?
Play
Never
for the
mind.
Dodgers, man.
You leave.
See,
All right,
and
go-
that's why me and Chill was released.
He don't know Mookie Betts either.
Exactly.
James was thinking about Mookie Blaylock. I know Mookie Blaylock. He played ball.
Yeah. So yeah, that's why I wasn't good at sports because of that guy.
Okay, all right.
He
Do
said
you-
some,
do you
and he
take
still
that?
got some more, yo.
You say, I
And
know. We
Yeah,
gonna
he
get
not
back to
done.
it. You accept that?
I'm humble.
Okay, he accepts that. All right. Did you apologize?
No.
Sorry, son.
what? So, but Chill.
Sorry, son.
Okay, but why? Come on.
I'm what?
Man, let me tell you.
What sports did Chill play? What can you expect? You ain't
Chill,
expecting.
Chill ran track. Chill
What?
played football.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Are
he did
you?
all that.
Are you? Hold on.
Brother, we're not talking about when it ended at Pop Warner.
It ain't had Pop Warner. Well, we ain't know nothing about no Pop Warner.
All right, so when did it
He
stop?
did it.
Nah,
high school.
I was actually
Up to high school?
I was actually good at sports, but I was pushed, and I ain't have no interest. I always wanted to
Pushed by
make-
who?
My brother. You know, and that was one of the main reasons why I didn't push my son. But
You ain't want.
But
You ain't want to be
a part
pushy.
of me are gonna allow him to shine, and a part of me inside is like, man, eat him up, eat him up.
What you talking about right now?
Yeah, right now.
Go ahead.
How you gonna eat him up on the sports piece? On him
Bro.
saying you was a failure.
Bro,
being
my
a sports
son,
dad.
my son would stink up a baseball field, bro.
That's
Bro,
what
he
you
was,
want out
Hold
there.
on,
bro,
how
bro,
old was he though? Because some of the worst people I know athletically in middle school and elementary school are professional athletes right now.
Well, let me say this.
That's a good point.
Let me say this. My
Way to take up for him, Darius.
yeah,
Yeah,
good point.
Appreciate that.
I'm gonna say our son, right? Bring my wife in on it. Nah.
Blame her.
Nah. When he was 5 years old, 4 or 5 years old, he played T-ball. When I tell you a natural out of this world, man, the coach did not allow no child on the team to hit the ball off the tee. He pitched it to you, and Tyreek will crack the ball. But I wanted to push him towards that, but he didn't want to play baseball no more. Right?
I don't remember that.
I know you was fine.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if I was good, then make me keep playing.
I didn't want.
There we go.
I didn't
want to push you.
I didn't
No.
want to push you because
He was traumatized by me.
That's right. My brother.
So it's your fault.
It's my
my brother ruined me in that aspect, but actually taught me some valuable lessons that I didn't inflict on you. And so when I seen your interest in what you wanted to do, I encouraged it.
And what was that at that time? What took him from baseball, T-ball or whatever?
Well, he played T-ball, basketball, But when basketball, I really enjoyed you playing basketball because we played at a Christian league. And he was actually really, really, really good at saying the prayer.
Oh, this is the eat 'em up part. Ooh, that was a good. You set that up real good because I'm
Really,
sitting all
really
engaged. I'm like, oh, he's really good.
And
Actually
saying-
baffled at the same time. 'Cause like, if he's so good, just like you said with T-ball, and then you snatching him, I don't get it.
Man,
But anyway, you stupid.
The man was extremely good at saying the prayer, man. I was so proud of my son.
Foolish, yo.
I mean, that was
Get him,
his time
nephew.
to shine.
Get him back.
Look,
Yeah, I couldn't let that one slide.
Yeah, you can let that get away. Shots
but
fired.
he didn't never want to play football.
Yeah, Michael Vick.
But
ruined
then he didn't.
Oh.
But then he didn't pick up baseball until 9th grade.
Didn't come back to it. So yeah,
Right,
lost
And-
a lot
come
of time.
back to it. Yes.
And I wish in the way Will Black was on here, he would definitely tell you that you can't do that sport like that. You
He
know.
right there. He can tell you.
And so I enjoyed his confidence, and he played. And, it was sometimes that I didn't make the team. It was sometimes I didn't make the team. Make the game. But I'm talking about like 97, 98% of the time I was at the game.
Right.
Is that accurate?
Man, let me tell you.
Now hold on a second.
No,
One
no,
more,
no,
one more,
let me-
and I'm gonna let you get to tell your story again.
All right.
But another thing, senior year, my son wanted to pick up the tennis racket.
I was good at that.
Bro, let me tell my story.
Oh, well, you've been telling it wrong.
My son played tennis, and I showed up at the thing, and I was amazing. He was actually good at tennis. But I made him pay for this because I was like, I'm sick and tired of misappropriating my money. Yeah, I put my money in it, right? Yeah, fuss at me, why? I
I'm
put my
fussing.
money. I said, bro, look, I'm done with you in sports, bro. Just stick to your media stuff. And bro, I want to play tennis. So he played tennis and he was pretty good.
All right, your turn, nephew.
Yeah, fine. All right. So, what was we? Yeah,
Prayer at the
Man,
basketball.
go ahead.
Oh,
And
Man,
he
look,
was
man,
really
Let me
good
tell you.
at the prayer.
Nah. So it was man, it was this one game. It was this one baseball game, right? Hit the ball. I'm on base. Like, this is my best game.
This 9th grade?
And he's not there.
This is 9th grade joint?
Oh, you finally hit it,
And he wasn't there.
and he won't dare.
Nah.
I'm sorry,
Wasn't there
son.
to celebrate. Man, you ain't sorry.
I'm truly sorry.
Nah, you-
Because I never ever wanted to miss a moment.
And you missed one.
Yeah.
So where
Did-
were you?
I didn't have confidence.
You didn't think he was ever gonna hit it.
He was at home sleep.
Man, when I tell you the embarrassment of my son in outfield, 9th grade, sitting down picking grass at the game. Nah. I had to mess with him. I had to mess with him. But he was out there in outfield looking around. I was like, bro, you do not want to play around because somebody will crack one out there. You know, but nah, man, overall, man, but one thing I do, and I'm not going to let him get away with this, and then we're going to be over with. One thing I did tell him, look, I ain't got time, I ain't got the patience, because I went out there, threw the ball, and hit him in the face, and,
When he was
put a big knot on his head.
before T-ball.
No, this is 9th grade, right?
Oh,
We're dealing
shoot.
with 9th grade. But I told him, I said, look, son, you know what? I will get you a trainer. I will pay for your trainer, because a lot of kids on the team had trainers. And he told me, what?
Get the trainer.
Okay. And then Jamu came out the back room. Nah, but he didn't want a trainer, and I didn't get him one. So
I didn't get the trainer because you wasn't invested in the baseball career.
okay,
And you already said I was misappropriating funds anyway. So.
okay.
Oh, okay.
But he said just now he just said he agreed.
Well,
that
he
would
ain't
cover
had
that
no
for
faith
you.
in that. Tyree
Yeah.
just told you, I ain't had no faith
When
in
he
that.
missed that game that he
Yeah.
hit, that he connected with the ball.
Yeah.
He lost all kinds of confidence in
all right,
in
well-
that.
Well, at least you ain't had no injuries.
Yeah.
No, that's
y'all
what you can
funny,
say.
man. Well, you know, there's, I think, you come up on this podcast quite a few,
Too much.
quite often.
Way too much.
That's because you provide me with a lot of material. All right. So I share with the B2M family. So talk about your perspective on the stories and what I might say, what your take, or really just like how I might tell something from my memory, but you have a different set of memories of the same situation.
I mean, all jokes aside, I feel like y'all do a pretty good job. I don't really be tripping on nothing y'all be saying. Only thing that I would ask, and I've said something to you, is, bro, don't talk about my relationships with women. Like, just don't talk about.
But
my
I don't
relationship.
call the women names.
But you don't know. Just don't talk about it.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't even want to get into that.
Because you
right
might have a new woman.
Like I said,
Okay.
I'm doing it right now.
He's doing it right now. He's doing it right now.
You ain't got. All right, you right.
Just don't talk about my relationships with women. And then I gotta clear it up, y'all.
Oh man.
I don't know what episode it was, but it was an episode where they was talking about me and him getting into it, and they was talking about me like he would have straight stomped me out. And it was just ridiculous. It was ridiculous. So I'm not gonna talk about me and you fighting. But I didn't like the supporting cast, specifically to Lee.
I was about to say, yeah.
Specifically to
You
Lee.
said it. I didn't even say it.
Talking about me like I would have got straight bodied. So that's all I'm going to say.
Yo,
He said the supporting cast.
like, don't you know we was gonna jump you?
Man, this man is a trained ninja. You don't know what this guy can do.
Look at Derek.
I hope y'all can see my face. Come on, man. He's 5'6". Like,
5'7" or 5'6".
Man, all depends on what shoes I have on.
everybody over here know who the biggest one on the podcast is right now. That's
There's
all
a
I'm
difference
gonna
between big and tall.
say. Whatever.
Okay.
Okay.
See how y'all do?
But other than that, the only thing I would say, like,
All right.
I'm gonna actually dig into your parenting, not like to fry you or anything, because I
That's
think
fine.
everybody's strength is also their weakness. I would just say I feel like, especially when I was young, I don't really feel this way no more, or I guess I just embraced it. I just felt like it was always like a lot of pressure on me, specifically me. And I got a brother, Kari, and I'm like, bro, y'all don't put no pressure on him, and y'all just put everything on me all the time. That's like how I felt all the time, and I just embrace that now. I don't like pressure, don't bother me. And then I feel like you can be overbearing for sure. Like, you always be in my business.
Facts.
He always in my business. He always like telling me what to do and what you think I should do, and talking to my friends about what they should do and what they shouldn't do. And like a lot of times it's good. All my friends rock with you and stuff. But for me, sometimes I just want to be like my own person. That's why when I be seeing Bronny James on TV, I got so much sympathy for that man, because I don't know how many times I be out in public and somebody like, oh, you Waukee son. Like, no, my name is Darius. I'm Darius. And it's just like, Waukee son, Waukee son, Waukee son. And they always talking about you. And that's a good thing, because like, you could be some deadbeat who ain't, you know, who people talk bad about. They talk good about you. But like, from my perspective, sometimes it's just annoying of like being Waukee's son, and just make me want to be like, all right, I'm about to just go live somewhere else, because I feel like I got a lot of value and I don't want to always be Waukee's son. I want people to like know who I am. You know what I mean? So that's just my perspective.
No, that's real. And to kind of touch on that, man, you know, and I have acknowledged, you know, like the pressure, and this is some information for all parents, man. You know, when we have our first child, and I spoke on another episode about having a vision for your family, and you had this vision, and you're trying to do everything you can to bring it about, and you don't know, because we ain't getting no coaching on this parenting thing.
Right.
The reason we having this show now is to kind of help other parents with the coaching, you know.
Right.
But as young parents, we wasn't getting no coaching, and so. You are absolutely right, and I acknowledge it, and we've talked about it before. It was a whole lot of pressure on you, all right?
For everything.
For everything, yeah,
Exactly.
like for real.
Everything. Don't leave it up.
But as a parent, you know, one of the things I always say is one of the best things we can do as a parent is when we get new information, we can change our mind.
Mm-hmm.
You was the guinea pig for Kari. Like, yo, so after I saw what that component and that kind of pressure had done, once I saw the negative side of that, yo, when it came to Kari, I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that to him. You know what I mean? We not gonna operate like that. We not gonna move in that same. I would be a fool to do the same thing to him in a negative way that kind of happened with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so yeah, absolutely. It almost seemed like he ain't got no pressure, and he does, because I give it to him. But also, he's not receptive to pressure. You can tell him anything, he ain't.
I feel like it's also a healthy pressure, though. I feel like a lot of the pressure on me was unhealthy pressure.
Correct.
So when I say no pressure, I just mean healthy pressure.
Right,
But
exactly.
I feel like expectation for me, like, I'm 9 years old. I got to be the best basketball player. I got to be the best football player. I got to be the best in baseball. I was so, like, tainted by pressure that I thought I was trash in baseball because I wasn't batting cleanup. I make the all-star team, and I'm like, well, I'm not the best player on the team, and I got to be the fastest person in the state. And even when I'm fastest person in the state, it's like, oh, dude in Miami faster than you. You got the second best time in the country. Like, bro, I had the second fastest time in the country, and we still comparing me to old boy? Like, damn, can I get congratulations?
He beat you.
And
No,
look,
no, but yeah, no.
like,
That's real. No, that's real. And I did all that.
And real quick, since you took with that, don't lose your thought, Chill.
I'm gonna lose it.
Did you, Darius? Do you think that helped you with what you spoke of earlier in putting the pressure on yourself when you when you go out and speak on on an idea?
I think that's why, in a sense, I actually like pressure now.
And that's why it was helpful.
Because I feel like it make me better.
Oh, okay.
You know, one of the things that one of the unintended consequences, and I definitely sympathize with you on this, is, and this is not tooting me or your mama's horn, but it's almost like when you have good parents, you can't get no credit for your success. You don't get no credit. Like, people just look at you and be like, oh, well, he got Waukee, he got Tracy. You know what I mean? Like, ain't nobody trying to give you no credit. And so, like, you had to execute on this stuff. You had to bring about this bit. You had to do everything.
Yeah.
All right, you had to do everything, but people don't give you the credit you deserve because they're like, well, you got good parents. Well, you know what I mean? Kind of like what we said on a previous episode. You're like, man, you got two parents. What's wrong with him? But the flip is also true. When you got two parents and you are doing well, you don't get no credit for it.
Yeah, people still say to me, they'd be like, they'd be talking about my business, and they'd be like, yeah, you and your dad's business. Like, that's not his business. like, I started all of that. And, but like, it's like they don't really want to give me credit for nothing I do. And it's like, I mean, if he's so great, where his plane at?
And so, are you aware, real
Yeah.
quick? And I'm sure he does this. I feel I'm sure that he does give you the credit that you do if people are talking to him about your success. Because I'm sure you do, right?
Oh, me
Why?
give him credit?
Yeah.
Oh, I
All the
always
time.
give him
Yeah,
credit.
definitely give me credit. So,
But
like, I
but
don't
people
even
don't
want-
So
give.
do you hear it?
But see what
Oh, I
happened.
hear it. Yeah,
Okay.
but I don't really.
He don't think it's me. It's just the outside world, how people
No, I
look at
understand that,
him.
but I'm saying that has to be the I guess the buffer, so to speak,
Oh yeah.
for him to
Oh,
because
yeah.
they not going to because until they get it or hear and say, oh well, no, get the correction from Wah
Mhm.
that shoot, that's
Well,
his success. He
in-
did this on his own, but blah blah blah.
In retrospect, it goes the same as if your dad trash, and you a child and you trash. What you expect? You see how trash his dad is, like, man, how roguish and how this and that, like
Mhm.
it's the same thing.
Mhm.
But which goes back to, I had a ton of things. I mean, a gazillion points I wanted to make. You heard your cousin over here, Tyreek, talk about the pressure his dad put on him
Yeah.
about playing sports. You didn't want that heat.
He didn't want that
still
smoke.
put-
He's like,
I know, but I'm just
But
saying.
your pressure was in different areas.
Correct. But back to Darius, like, it's funny because, for years I was Joaquin's little brother. And so even when I meet
still
people
are.
to this day, I'll shake my hand around
Oh,
here as a
like-
joke. I'm Joaquin's little brother. Of course I'm 50 years old, but I'm still Joaquin's little brother. It is funny, right? But this the difference with me now. I'm Tyreek. They're like, they know Tyreek. You know what I'm saying? And so now they coming to me.
Oh, you're
as
Tyreek's dad.
Right. I'm Tyreek's dad. And I'm like, yeah, I'm Tyreek's dad or whatever. So it all depends on where this particular person met you on this walk of life,
Yeah.
whether I'm the head or either he the head
Yeah.
of me. But to say this, and I was thinking about this. If you planted an apple tree, right? To one of your points, if you planted an apple tree, you're not gonna say that's Darius' apple tree, right?
Mhm.
You gonna say that's an apple tree.
Yeah.
And so, for your father over here and your mother, this is the tree,
Mhm.
and it's the fruit that it's bearing,
Mhm.
which is you. So I know you want your own identity,
Mhm.
but it's the tree. It's the apple tree.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah,
I'm not
I understand you
I'm not
understand.
tripping on it.
I know. So don't get mad because they keep talking about the apple tree. You just the fruit on the tree, man. And so you should be all right. I know you want your own identity, but they ain't go just the apple tree. My brother apple tree, bro.
Pear tree.
Oh, your pear tree.
No,
Nah,
man.
man.
It's man. I since I'm up here. I'm gonna say it because we're about to wrap up. Being you and Kari's dad is the greatest accomplishment of my life. Like straight up, it don't get no better.
He gassing for y'all.
No, I ain't. I ain't gassing. And you know, I tell people all the time, you know, they're like, how your boys are, how, you know, what's going on, you know, whatever. And I was like, man, they good people. They good people.
Mhm.
That's it. That's all I want. They good people. They ain't got no larceny with them. You know, they not perfect people.
Slight.
They're not perfect people, but they good people.
Right.
You know, and they generally good. You know, ain't everybody all good. Everybody knows people at a different, you know, some people know, many people know different versions of me.
Mhm.
You know, there's another dude that know me as something way different than what public people
become
know
or
me
what you
for now.
become,
You know what I
right,
mean?
yeah.
Somebody that hung out with me when I was 14, they know a different version of me.
Right.
And so just having, you know, Kari and Darius, it really is the best accomplishment ever, man. And I'm just so proud of both of you guys, especially you. And I tell y'all all the time, wherever you go, we're gonna look.
Mhm.
If you fall, we're gonna be looking down. And when you rise, we get to look up. And whether you have, you know, I said to you, and I've said it before, if you grow up to be president or have some amazing accomplishment, curing cancer or whatever, I'm not gonna take too much credit. And if you grow up and rob banks, I'm not gonna take too much blame. And so that's how I kind of always see it. You want to say something? Then I'll let Darius and Tyreek wrap it up.
Yeah, what's your greatest accomplishment?
I was breakdancing. I don't know what you're talking about, man. nah. You know, I'm just, you know, just one of those things, man. You just extremely, you know, I'm extremely proud of you, sons. Definitely proud of you, nephew, man. Just proud of y'all, man. Y'all make me so proud. Y'all, you talking about the engine, man. When you 50 years old, man, you go to Aiken, and man, y'all the engines, man.
That's true.
Y'all motivate me so much, man. Y'all have no clue, man. I'm talking about, man.
This man works 16-hour days.
Hey, let me tell you. Oh, yeah.
Be grinding it out.
Hey, my nephew over here, I got to tell a story before we leave. Man. You ain't heard this version of it. My nephew over here, man, when I tell you, man, I love, and my son dream too, but I love how my nephew dream. And when he dream big. And I don't even realize, in the depth he dreamed, it's not really even a dream to him. It's reality. That's how tapped in he is. But he came to me, and he always coming to me with different versions. And he like, yo, Unc, what about this? What about that? I ain't gonna drop it what we doing, but he come to me, Unc, what about this? What about that? And I'm like, bet, I'm all in. I don't even need to think about it. You know what? Because I trust him. You know what I mean? And I know these young men that I trust, that they done that research. They done that grind. And I'm showing them I believe in them. And I was laughing. I said, man, I was in here putting up the equipment and getting stuff together for the set. And I started laughing. I said, you know what? Man, my nephew get me in some mess. I said, this man get me in some mess. I said, man, this man gonna come to me next time. He's like, yo, Unc, I got 2 elephants. I say 2 elephants. And then he put this master plan together. I said, bet, what we do? How much they cost? He tell me, I said, I'm all in, right? And then the next thing I find out, we done bought the elephants. They both got stomach virus. I'm like, oh, nephew, man, what's up? Man, I ain't know they. Man, we'll sell our tusk now. All right, we'll sell our tusk. Man, you know how much they pay for ivory? Oh, no, nephew. You know what I mean? You know how much they pay for elephant shoes? I ain't never seen nothing. I'm all with him, man. I'm sold out for the family, man. And that's what it's about. Why? You got something to take us out with?
Before I take it out, I'm going to give it to Tyreek.
Okay.
If he got something.
No, I was going to say, man, this is great. Glad y'all had us on. You know what I'm saying? It's about time, you know, some of the old heads step aside. Y'all let the young bucks take over.
Talking about Nuevo and JG.
Well, I mean, all y'all old heads.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well, I'd like to say I'm proud of all of y'all. Proud of you guys as fathers, man, what you accomplished with your sons. And I'm proud of them as nephews and what they've accomplished, man. Love to get them props every time they doing something and doing their thing, man. So I'm proud of all of y'all, brothers, as fathers and accomplished young men.
Thank you, sir.
We're proud of you too, brother.
I was going to say the same thing. Not all 5 of us, because me and Tyreek not on the show every week, but the 3 of them and Corey and John, like, they all good dudes for real, and all of them, to me, are like an extension of my dad. Like, John called me last week. Me and Talik talk a good amount. These 2 will call me. I feel like they call me. I can call them whenever. They know I don't answer my phone like that. They probably gonna have to text me. But like, I can always lock in with any of them if I need anything, and I feel like they're gonna come through. So they don't just be on here talking a bunch of nonsense. Like, all of them actually do the stuff they say they doing. They all good people, and they people you can count on and trust.
Thank you, son.
Thanks.
I agree with that. Sitting, you know, I'm behind the camera every week, sitting there watching y'all. Y'all be talking about some good stuff.
All right.
Man, we appreciate it.
I'm going to give y'all props.
Thank you, sir. And in the words of the great Frederick Douglass, it is easier to raise strong children than to repair broken men. Peace.
And I won't stop until I'm winning. I'ma show 'em how true and independent get it. Whole game changed by the time I finish with it. We about to get this business handled in a minute. And I won't stop until I'm winning. They don't want me in the office 'cause